I see patients who have been recently diagnosed with hypothyroidism. Their doctor suggests thyroid medications, but they're concerned about going down that pill-popping rabbit hole. Or some people may already be on hormone replacement therapy, and they can't figure out why their bathroom scale has become public enemy number one. Well, it's not their fault. They've been trying their best to do everything right, but the truth is there are things that are missing from the healthy hormone equation. Conventional medicine and your insurance doesn't allow you to run sufficient blood tests to see what's really going on with your thyroid, typically only testing the TSH. What you may not know is blood work is only a snapshot of where your hormones are at that moment. So you can go in and your TSH, the only thing they're testing, may be high or low. It can be off balance because you're going through stress or dealing with an infection. The knee-jerk reaction of some doctors is to immediately put you on hormone replacement therapy or HRT when maybe you really don't need it at all. Maybe you could have been monitored or a supplemental form could have been used. And 10 to 20 years later, you're still struggling with the same symptoms, not feeling right and on medication. What you may not know is many of these prescriptions should be used short-term and monitored closely. Because once you're on thyroid medications long-term, you stop making thyroid hormone. Do you really want to create that cycle which shuts down the natural ability for your body to produce these hormones? So the question you need to ask a practitioner in the know and ask yourself as well is number one, can my thyroid imbalance be due to a gut imbalance? Number two, what exactly are the issues with my 9 thyroid markers, include my thyroid antibodies? Remember, always test your thyroid antibodies to see if you're creating thyroid autoimmune. Did you know the most common cause of hypothyroidism in the United States is Hashimoto's? Yet oftentimes women that are diagnosed with hypothyroidism have never been tested for Hashimoto's. Number 3, could there be a brain to thyroid issue? Let me explain. There are 28 patterns of thyroid disease, and if you're not testing the TSH, you're missing a big piece of the puzzle. For example, you have more going on than just the TSH. You also have to look at T3, T4 levels, as well to check to see if your thyroid antibodies are getting high, creating autoimmunity. With some patients, we find that many of the problem is an underconverter and that there's a break in the feedback loop. And a simple prescription will not fix that. What I mean by underconverter is that you have other thyroid markers and thyroid hormones like T4 that is in transit to your body that needs to be converted to T3, and that's not happening. This means low energy production for your body because the active T3 hormone isn't getting into your cells. It could also be an issue with your pituitary gland that isn't signaling your thyroid gland correctly. Many people don't take into consideration that there's a feedback loop between your brain and all the rest of your glands that can turn on and turn off hormone release. Excessive stress hormones like cortisol can also cause this to happen. So if you've had a concussion, had stress, chronic infections, or inflammation, this can also impact the pituitary gland, which affects the thyroid and hormones. You see, the right kind of thorough testing helps us to understand how these 3 questions are impacting your thyroid and draining your body. To go deeper on how to rebalance hormones naturally, sign up for a free 20-minute discovery call where we can discuss your specific situation.